The Jacksonville Jaguars are Super Bowl champions. It's going to happen. The question you got to ask yourself is, will you be alive to see it? Fix your diet. I mean, it's not only Rosie O'Donnell who announces on January 1st that she's going on a diet. Most people make that announcement as well. Savor the days, the weeks, the months, the years. I want to see you live. I want to be here with you for it. That victorious Super Bowl parade will be one for the ages, and it's going to happen. You got to draft and sign, draft and sign, draft and sign. Along the way, develop, right? That's your winning recipe. Draft the right players. Develop the right players. Sign the right players. You know what the greatest problem would be with the Jaguars organization? We don't have enough money to re-sign all of our drafted players. Can you imagine being in a world where that was actually the case? Now, as of late, the organization has done a nice job, right? Re-up with Devon Hamilton, drafted player. Got a deal done with Trevor Lawrence, drafted player. Got a deal done with Josh Hines-Allen, drafted player. Got a deal done with Tyson Campbell, drafted player. Got a deal done with Walker Little, drafted player. Okay? Have you overpaid for some of those players? Yes. That is one thing that I think we'll all agree with when it comes to Trent Baalke. He overpays, not underpay. And that is certainly the case as well with free agents. Free agents are still huge. Free agents should fill an immediate hole on your roster. But if you're going to have any strength, any ability to be stable year in, year out, you need a great quarterback. Okay? You need a fantastic quarterback. You need some elite football players. And you got to keep them happy and in town. That is how you win. The second part of all of this, in the whole great quarterback conversation, is frankly one around here that is going to be talked about until Trevor Lawrence plays his last game. He's not great. He's not anywhere near great. It's not all his fault, okay? There continuously is support for him. And I happen to be in that corner, although I'll be the first to admit to you, my confidence in him has waned, right? It's not as good as it was a year ago, certainly not nearly as good as it was 2 years ago. And there's a lot of things that come into that reasoning. Number one, the man has been hurt. He had 5 different injuries last year, of course, knocked out this year, non-throwing shoulder, then the concussion. The offense is slumped. Something happened. Doug Peterson, and we'll get to him momentarily after his Friday press conference, which was just a doozy. I mean, if you missed out on this is radio gold. We're going to play that for you coming up in just a couple of moments. But, you know, Peterson's checked out, right? And it feels like every day that we rip up the calendar or put an X on the calendar, it's feeling more and more and more and more and more like maybe he's going to survive. Then maybe Shad Khan's going to run back that entire year. Remember when we were all convinced that Doug Marrone and Dave Caldwell were going to be sent the door and the sacrificial lamb was Tom Coughlin? They brought him back. And some believe that. I've always felt that Baalke's coming back. Peterson, I mean, you got to make changes, right? At least erase the entire coaching staff. I'd blow the whole thing up, but Shad Khan doesn't want my opinion. The Trevor Lawrence deal is one that we will always speak upon. And the good news for Trevor Lawrence is you finally do have a player that is entering elite status in Brian Thomas Jr. He has exceeded certainly what I thought as a rookie. And you can also tell that the ability is there for him to get that much better. Now, I talk about draft and sign. You also, right after having assorted special players, elite players, and again, you look at current Super Bowl champions or the recent Super Bowl winning teams. What did they all have? A great quarterback and also some players on their roster who are among the very best at their position in the NFL. Right now, Jacksonville's only got one of those players. Again, if I was to ask you, quick, give me the top 5 players on the Jaguars roster, that's hard. I think my opinion would be, or I'll give you mine. I go number 1, Brian Thomas Jr. I go number 2, Logan Cook. I would. I'm not trying to be a smart guy here. I'm not trying to put you in a bad mood before the Christmas weekend, or I guess Christmas is on Wednesday, but we're heading into the holiday. I'm not trying to do that. I was being honest with you. Who are you going to put it to, Trevor? You going to put Tyson Campbell at 2? You going to put Foye Oluokun at 2? You going to put Trayvon Walker at 2? You going to put Josh? I don't know. It's a worthy argument. To me, it's Logan Cook. He's the only one who's got a chance of making the Pro Bowl, in my opinion. I just don't think that Thomas Jr. is going to get enough recognition on a 3-win football team. I mean, look what he came in with all the other first-round wide receivers. He was kind of buried, and he's gotten himself out of that hole by producing. And again, the Jaguars did him no favors by not throwing him the football, at least early on in the year. I mean, let's credit Mac Jones. He's at least now getting the football to Brian Thomas Jr. But outside of having the quarterback and having some special players, you got to be stout in the ditch. The really good teams. Look at the Doug Peterson Super Bowl winning team. Going back, 6, 7 years ago in Philadelphia. What did they have in common? I'll tell you. They rotated backs. They rotated wide receivers. He never had a 1,000-yard back. He never had a 1,000-yard wide receiver. He had one 1,000-yard tight end. What they had was a mean, physical offensive line. What they had was a nasty, physical defense. I'm going to give you some of these numbers after our first break. They are staggering. The Jaguars in the ditch are soft, especially on defense. They cannot stop the run. They create absolutely zero interior defensive pressure. And what scares me is the draft nicks are out. We're 125 days away. A lot of folks who cover this team, I respect them all. I read them all. I do. I think you're lucky to have a really good, it's not a large group, but those who cover this team put in the work. And whatever they write, I read. But I'll say this. They're all clamoring for defense. It's either a corner or a defensive tackle. It's a defensive tackle or it's a corner. And we're going to have weeks and weeks and weeks to really dive into this. Again, we're 125 days out. I get it, free agency's a month before. That'll begin in mid-March. But I'm going to go opposite of all of that. Does it need to be addressed? Sure. But my priority puts that at 3 and 4. I still need a number 2 wide receiver. I want Trevor Lawrence to have the best overall skill position guys that surround him. And I want myself a right guard. Frankly, I think you need 3 new interior offensive linemen. They've done a pretty good job this year, the IOL, when it comes to pass protection. They have not done a good job once again when it comes to rushing the football. But you can't fix everything. And that's what I find myself saying all the time, is that you just look at it and you say, bang, 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 bang. Well, every organization is in this position. Every organization has holes. Every organization is trying to make themselves that much better than they were. And if you're a playoff team that makes it the championship Sunday or what have you, to maintain, you can't do it. You're going to have to be flawed in a couple of areas. And as far as I'm concerned, I want a football team that outscores their opponent. And what I mean by that is they win games 33-30. Look at last time out. You gave up 25 points in the second half. Okay? You allowed 7 points in the first 30 minutes of play against the New York Jets. You allowed 104 yards. What happened? A Jets team that has already fired their coach in Robert Saleh, a Jets team that has already fired their general manager in Joe Douglas, went into the tunnel. By the time you run into the tunnel, use the lavatory, eat a Crustable, you get about 5 or 6 minutes to work with your position coach and maybe hear from your offensive and or defensive coordinator about changes you need to make in the third or fourth quarter. The Jets turned it around and buried your Jaguars to the tune of more than 300 yards, to the tune of 25 points, halftime adjustments. Jacksonville did nothing. Again, it's been a very poorly coached team. The Jets, headed up by a bunch of guys that are looking for work, headed up by a bunch of coaches in New York right now that know they're not going to be back with the Jets in 3 Mondays. They're looking for work elsewhere. They still went after it and totally outcoached and outperformed Jacksonville in the final 30 minutes of football. So it's painful, and I get it, but it's the only way you're going to take that next step. After the quarterback, after elite players, damn it, you have got to become physical at the line of scrimmage. You need a dominant offensive line, and you need a dominant defensive line. And it's hard to find. The moves that this team has made lately has not worked. Really didn't work with Brandon Sheriff. Really didn't work with Ezra Cleveland. They've been okay. Really didn't work with Eric Armstead, right? I mean, it hasn't. That's the truth. And being able to fix that is going to take Jacksonville, hopefully, to where they, in fact, want to be. All right, good stuff happening on this Friday. It's great to have you with us. Let me see if the Gators finally scored. They have. They are now up 16-0. We have played 3 quarters at the Union Home Mortgage Gasparilla Bowl. And before the touchdown, it was incredible. Florida had put up already, I want to say 350, maybe 400 yards. They just have been unable to do anything on third down. They were 2 for 10 before the touchdown pass by DJ Lagway. And, Tulane, their quarterback opted out. Their top 3 defensive players aren't playing. This is absolutely a gift for Florida to take on the Green Wave without their best players. And, the cream is beginning to rise to the top now. This thing, when it's all said and done, is probably going to end up being 30-0 or 27-0 or something crazy like that. And again, I'm looking at Lagway. He's thrown for 300 yards, 21 of 32. And on the ground, Florida has run it already 28 times for 121 yards. Ball with 64 and Jackson with 50. So you're talking about a football team that has put up more than 420 yards with an entire fourth quarter to go. It's great news for Florida. Okay, even though they started off really slow today as far as production, as far as scoring. Again, if you didn't watch the game or you're somewhere else across the country and all of a sudden you just look at the box score, it's going to be simple. You're going to say Florida blew them out. And that's really all that matters, right? You knock off LSU, you knock off Mississippi, you knock off Florida State, you knock off Tulane, you get to 8-5, you carry that with you into spring ball, and all of a sudden there's going to be a lot of momentum for the Florida Gators in the 2025 season. And they've done a masterful job. It'd be impossible for me not to credit them. After having a coach that everyone wanted fired and you wanted it blown up, and just remember what your reaction was the day that Scott Strickland came out and penned that letter saying that Billy Napier's not going anywhere. They got blistered that night by Texas, but they played hard against Texas. And ever since then, they have responded by winning those football games. So there's going to be a lot of hype, deservedly so, for the Florida Gators during the offseason. All right, when we come back, this is going to be a blast tonight. The Battle of Indiana, our first playoff game. And Notre Dame is a really good defense. They only gave up more than 16 points twice this year. The good news for Indiana would be it happened the last time out for the Fighting Irish. They allowed 35 points in that victory against the University of Southern California. So if you look at things as of late, and that's what we do. Absolutely, that does come into mind. And when you look at Indiana, they have the top overall rushing defense in college football. They also have one of the highest ranked scoring offenses in college football. Points were hard for Indiana to get against their most difficult opponents. They only got 20 points against Michigan in a win. They only got 15 points against Ohio State in a loss. Perhaps more importantly, only 246 yards in that victory against Michigan and 151 yards in the loss against Ohio State. We know Notre Dame is a very good defense. As I just pointed out, they haven't given up more than 16 points only twice this year. They're also a takeaway machine. But both these teams have similarities. They love to be able to run the football, and they're also very good at defending the run. You add with that miserable weather, cold weather tonight in South Bend, this has all the makings of the under. As a matter of fact, all four of these college football playoff games have the making of an under if you consider the teams that are playing, 6 of which, are among the top 10 defenses in college football. In 3 of the 4 settings, it's going to be brutally clothed, right? Tonight in South Bend, tomorrow in Columbus, tomorrow in Happy Valley. I guess Austin, Texas, it's going to be in the very low 60s, so weather will not be a factor there in the matchup between Clemson and Texas. Nonetheless, we are really going to get into this, the 4 playoff games coming up this weekend. I mean, this is what it's all about. This is what we yelled about. This is what I yelled about. I don't think they've done a great job scheduling it, especially tomorrow where the NFL dropped a couple of games on us on a Saturday. I think that really is pathetic by pro football. I think the NFL should be smart enough to reward college football, allow college football to have its branding, to be able to say, hey, watch these games. These are tomorrow's NFL stars, and they've elected to go head-to-head, which makes no sense. Nothing competes with the NFL. But their greed, frankly, is not surprising. I just don't understand in a situation like this where you could have very easily scheduled it differently in pro football and again, left that opportunity. This isn't like the NHL where you go to Sweden and Finland and Russia, and this isn't like the NBA where you go across the pond. This isn't like Major League Baseball with international scouting where you go to the Dominican Republic and Venezuela and Cuba. No, this is right here. 100% of your talent comes from the college game. Why not build up the college game? And again, say our stars for tomorrow are playing right now. You get all your talent from this great. It's amazing to me that it actually happens this way, but no one's going to tell those crusty owners what they can do and what they can't do. And I don't know how this is collectively bargained within the contracts, but it feels like it's more of a network issue where we're going to put these games on Saturday. And we'll get the ratings. We'll have them next week and we roll in. And you'll see that Baltimore-Pittsburgh game, they will have much, much higher ratings as they go head-to-head against the Clemson-Texas game. And that's, to me, that's sad. But that's just my opinion. If you want to offer up yours, you can. 641-1010 text line brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. All right, opening comments on this Friday brought to you by Shmunez Vision. They want to wish each and every one of you out there a happy holiday. They have also introduced Dr. John Hunt, the newest member of the Shmunez family. He brings his expertise into the practice, right? Joining Dr. Catherine Shmunez, Dr. Neo Shmunez combined. That's more than 30 years of experience when it comes to surgery, whether it be laser eye surgery. So you have 20/20 vision for the rest of your life. Maybe it's something that is needed. That would be a want, even though it's a pretty good want by having laser eye surgery. A need would be something that is dangerous. Cataract, right? Cataract surgery. Ouch. Just sounds scary. Don't you want it to be done by someone, in the case of these three individuals who've done it for a very long period of time? And they're also going to answer all your questions. That doesn't happen all over the place. You have questions. Tell me about cataract surgery. How long am I going to be under? How long until I can see well? They're going to sit and answer everything that you could possibly ask. I know this because Dr. Neil Shmunez did surgery on my right eye 8.5 years ago, and I've never had an issue. I go back, and it's nothing but smiles when I visit the good folks at Shmunez Vision. You can do the same. Check them out online, Shmunez Vision, their website. Also, testimonials available by going to Shmunez Vision on Instagram. When we do return, Doug Peterson with a heart-stopping comment a little bit earlier today. We're going to share that with you. We're going to bring in J.J. LaSelva. We're going to talk Jaguars Raiders, and we're going to talk about the 4 college football playoff games, which begins tonight. Notre Dame in Indiana. All part of your Friday evening.
Together, one play at a time.
It's the moment the game changed.
Up in the air, it is caught!
Listen for the Performance Painting high-performance play of the game.
Are you kidding me?
On 1010XL. Performance Painting. Prepare, protect, preserve.
This is Mark Nato. My son Justin injured his hand playing baseball for JU. Southeast Orthopedic Specialist performed surgery just a few days later, and within 5 weeks, he was cleared to play in the ASUN baseball tournament. Our family has trusted Southeast Orthopedic Specialists for years. For any orthopedic injury, let Southeast Orthopedic Specialists take care of you too.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Here's Linda Beaver.
Have you heard? Beaver Toyota and Beaver Chevrolet are aiming to sell 1,000 vehicles this December. How? I've told my team to take all reasonable offers. We won't lose your business over price. With thousands of cars, trucks, and SUVs on the ground, all priced to sell, we guarantee the most money for your trade and the easiest car buying experience ever. I promise we ain't leaving nothing on the table. This is the absolute last weekend. Visit Beaver Toyota in St. Augustine or Beaver Chevrolet in Jacksonville. We're here to wow you.
Need a last-minute gift? What's more Duval than a Moss Fire Grill holiday gift card? Right now, you can buy a $100 gift card and get a $25 gift card for free. Only at Moss Fire Grill.
See you on the rooftop.
Pre-Game Friday, built by Dreamfinders Homes on 1010XL.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
Hey gang, Dan Hicken here for America's #1 daily fantasy sports app with more than 10 million active members. It's PrizePicks. First things first, download the app today and use code JAX, that's JAX, to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Again, download that app today, use code JAX, $50 after you play your first $5 lineup. How to play? All you got to do is pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections. Like, is Jared Goff going to throw for more than 230 passing yards? Will Saquon Barkley have more than 1 touchdown? Will Travis Kelce have less than 70 receiving yards? You can now win up to 100 times your money on PrizePicks with as little as 4 correct picks. PrizePicks puts their members first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. When my picks hit, which they usually do, I get my money in as quick as 15 minutes. PrizePicks also now offers Venmo for quick and easy deposits and withdrawals. PrizePicks, run your game.
Mia O'Brien
is going to be the first woman president of the United States of America.
Catch me weekdays from noon to 2 on Helmets and Heels.
And she could run later this year even, and I would vote for her.
All things Mia are driven by Arlington Toyota on 1010XL.
Brackish Vodka, the official vodka of UNF Athletics, 100% made in Jacksonville, is available at all local liquor stores. Visit Browdy's, Total Wine, ABC, Shores, Golden, Sahara's, Golden Ox, and more. Drink our gluten-free San Francisco Spirit award-winning vodka and see why it's the smoothest vodka you can buy. When you drink Brackish Vodka, you support all of our local employees and all the money stays in Jacksonville. Drink Brackish Vodka and live life slightly salty. Proud partner of the Jaguars.
This holiday season, give your home the gift that keeps on giving. Beautiful, energy-efficient windows and doors from Renewal by Andersen. With our exclusive Fibrix material, you'll enjoy windows that keep the cold out and the warmth in, perfect for those cozy nights by the fire. Limited time offer. Call today. Buy one, get one 40% off windows and doors. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com. Restrictions apply. License number CGC 1527613.
Still scrambling for that perfect holiday gift? We've got you. Find the hottest must-haves at Ulta Beauty. Treat your loved ones to beauty faves from Sol de Janeiro and Tarte. Need something small? Little gifts that bring big joy from Clinique and Benefit, plus fragrance rollerballs, make the perfect stocking stuffers. Or gift them exactly what they want with a gift card. Get all the best gifts, all at Ulta Beauty. Don't wait. Head in store today.
Deck the halls with pipes a-leaking, fa-la-la-la-la-la-la. Oh no! Don't let plumbing ruin your season, fa-la-la-la-la-la-la. Let's go!
Uh-oh. Got a clog or a leak messing with your holiday cheer? Call Duck Duck Rooter. We're the reindeer of repairs. Fast, reliable, and ready to slay your plumbing problems.
Fa-la-la-la-la-la-la, hooray!
904-862-6769 or visit duckduckrooter.com. We're flushing your worries away this holiday season.
With the sun setting earlier, Hidden Hills Golf Club has expanded their twilight specials so you can take advantage of our special afternoon rates and get your round in before dark. Book today at hiddenhillsgc.com and enjoy this beautiful fall weather.
Cigar smokers, All-Pro Lyman Leon Searcy here for my favorite spot, Cigars International. The Cigars International Superstore is now open at the Town Center, a massive 6,200 square feet with over 600 cigar brands. A full-service bar and indoor and outdoor lounges with flat-screen TVs. Give their old-fashioned a try. It's the best that I've ever had. Follow on social for holiday specials and events. Cigars International is now open at the Town Center.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Happy birthday, Alan. The Alan Parsons Project. 76 today. Very underrated, Alan Parsons. And music historians know that Alan Parsons was the co-producer and engineer of Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon. He also moonlighted and played saxophone on one of my all-time favorite songs. That is Al Stewart's The Year of the Cat. So there you go. The range of the Alan Parsons Project is enormous. And we're going to share it with you right here on your home of the Jaguars. 19-0 Gators. They're closing out a year. They're going to win 5 straight national titles. The University of Florida up 19-0. This Tulane team is so bad with who they have out there playing right now. I think Florida State, JJ, would have a shot in this game.
I'd love to see that, actually. They should have, like, the on top. I mean, we have enough bowl games. Wouldn't you have loved to see Florida State versus Purdue to solve the question of who was the worst Power 4 team this year? I would have loved to see that.
For, like, the first time in my life, I'm honestly going to say no. I just wanted that team to go away.
Yeah.
And shut it down. I think the only thing disappointing here for Florida is that this bowl game was so early that they didn't get the 15 allotment of practices. And I guess in the long string of things, it may end up meaning nothing. but it would have been nice to have at least another week's worth of practice. The good news here is they get in, they get out, they win a football game, and then you take all of this momentum with you into the offseason. And, hey, it's going to be talked about here on the home of the Gators.
Absolutely.
Right? There'll be no missed opportunities here. But they're going to get plenty of credit here, and they've earned it. And I'll say it once again. I find myself liking this year's Florida football team perhaps more than any Florida football team that I can ever think of, simply because they have gone against today's Gen Z. Today's Gen Z is pack up, quit, take the ball, go somewhere else. Mommy, I want to transfer. These kids played hard, and I admire that. And that's basically it, period. I can't add much more to it. This Gator team played hard, and they fought for their coach. And, JJ, I admire that.
Me too. A lot of heart this year. Like you said, I expected when they lost to Texas A&M and everybody's just, hey, Napier's gone. The fans, the players, I expected to just fold. But they didn't. He obviously had them buying in the entire time. No matter how low it got there, they never stopped playing for him. Yeah. And there's a lot to be said for that. But here's the downside of Napier is this game and his offense. It's so terrible. And I think that this is probably going to be the wake-up. I mean, I expected them to go out and get an offensive play caller after this season anyway, but especially after this. Mm-hmm. And it might be good for Lagway to, not go into the offseason with everyone saying you're the greatest quarterback of all time and let's build the statue now. Maybe it is a little bit better to be humbled going into the offseason, so you'll have that motivation to work that much harder. Because he has not looked great today.
No, he's thrown a couple of picks.
Big stat numbers with yardage, but he threw 2 terrible picks.
Yeah, sometimes you can say that numbers lie, and if you didn't watch 60 minutes of football and there's still 9 minutes to go in the game, you may get a different impression of what Florida has done today than what the final box score will tell you. Case in point, he's thrown for 305 yards, and he has thrown a couple of interceptions. But what has really hurt Florida today, and they've actually picked up a couple of late, they were 2 of 12, 2 of 11. They're now 4 of 13 on third down against an inferior opponent. So I think that is the move for Billy Napier. I agree with you there. I think getting someone to come in and call this offense, and who knows, maybe it's an NFL offensive coordinator who's let go in 3 Mondays. Maybe they can go to another college football program, bring someone. I'm not sure what Florida's going to do. I would think he'd get to work as early as tomorrow on this, but still a great ending of the year for the Gators. And let's see what else is going on in college football. We do know that tonight we've got the first of the 4 college football playoffs. Let's see. A little bit earlier today, it was Ohio, a 30-27 victory over Jacksonville State. So I guess that's it for this Friday. Indiana, Notre Dame at 8 o'clock
I'm looking at the lines outside of Notre Dame Stadium right now. That place is going to be electric tonight. I saw that headline, and I saw on Twitter the same thing we were talking about yesterday with ticket sales not being the best in some of these games. And I understand, with the students not even being there, and it's sort of a last-second thing knowing you're even in the playoff and where you're going to play and all this. It's sort of difficult to buy tickets in advance. But the lines outside of Notre Dame that I'm seeing right now, and I saw people at 7 a.m. lining up to get into campus in their cars. The snow, the atmosphere, I'm ready. The closer, this whole week, I was sort of all the talk is about the portal and, NIL and how crappy the playoff is and all this. But the closer we've been getting, today, and now I'm really pumped for this game. I know I don't care about Indiana football whatsoever, but it's Notre Dame. I cheer my hardest against Notre Dame, no matter who they're playing. And now that it's in the playoffs, I should have bought some Indiana gear.
Yeah, Indiana, top rushing defense in college football. Tonight, Riley Leonard's going to have to get it done in the air, you would think. I mean, that's the recipe for Indiana.
Which he hasn't been able to do really all season.
Also,
Leonard.
number 2, number 3 scoring offenses in all of college football. Now, we can bring up competition. We can always dive into the numbers, and they can be skewed just a little bit. But you're talking about the number 2 and number 3 scoring offenses in college football. Indiana, 43.3. Notre Dame, 39.8. But in a cold weather night game, at least in the first quarter, it's going to be power against power. Notre Dame averages 6.3 yards a carry on the ground behind a mammoth offensive line against the top defense in college football when it comes to defending the run. And that is Indiana. So we're going to get a pretty good look at that. And Tim Brando told us last night he thinks Curtis Rourke is incredibly underrated. He's a very high percentage passer, and he thinks he's better than Riley Leonard. We know Riley Leonard can run when healthy and can do things certainly with his legs. He's not had a huge year. I think 21 touchdowns maybe passing.
I feel like he's never been the same since that injury.
Since that high ankle sprain.
He was phenomenal at Duke. I thought this was going to be a huge pickup for Notre Dame in the offseason, but he really hasn't lived up to expectations.
Marcus Freeman is a guy. We just talked about what Billy Napier's going to do. Marcus Freeman's kind of the wild card here. And with the 12 teams, it feels like everything's set except for could Marcus Freeman go to the NFL? And if Ohio State was to lose tomorrow night to Tennessee, Ryan Day 66 and 10. Could Ryan Day actually get fired if they lose a home playoff
Hell
game?
yes. I couldn't even imagine how toxic that fan base would be after losing your 4th straight to your arch rival, this time being by far the worst Michigan team that you've had to play. And you get bounced at home, and I think they are going to lose. I would pick Tennessee in this game. I don't feel crazy confident about it, but I'm rolling with the Vols. I couldn't imagine him surviving that. I don't that's the only game that matters there is the Michigan game. There's really 3 things that matter if you're an Ohio State fan. It's beat Michigan, win the Big Ten, and win a national championship. And he didn't do any of those.
Yeah. I'm trying to find it. I can't. I want to say I read somewhere this week that if Ohio State was to lose this game, it would be the first time they lost 2 home games in a row since like 1990 or something. I mean, just going back forever for Ohio State. So,
did you know that this was the first time, different game, but still a crazy stat, that Indiana and Notre Dame, 2 state teams in the state of Indiana, first time they've played each other since 1994.
Mm-hmm.
And then before that, it was like the 60s or something?
Yeah. And
there's obviously some sort of beef within the athletic departments for that.
Brando alluded to it a little bit last night, but I mean, it's really weird because Notre Dame played Purdue all the time. But
every year.
Yeah, when it got to Indiana, they were like, oh, no, heck no. And I think a lot of that, what Brando explained to us was that, Indiana is a consummate basketball school, that you're an Indiana basketball fan. But when it came to football, since Notre Dame has never been, in their conference or been in the Big Ten, that a lot of those Indiana Hoosier fans just automatically became Notre Dame fans once football rolled around. But obviously that did involve the administrations because they never put together a game between these 2 interstate I won't say rivals.
Yeah,
these 2 interstate teams.
Call them that. By the way, Florida scored on a fumble Ruski, basically.
Oh, isn't that magnificent?
Drop snapped on 4th and 1 by Lagway. Daniels picked it up, takes it to the house for a touchdown.
Yep.
Gators 26-0.
Yep.
Surely looks a lot better than it has been.
Yeah. So,
hey, whatever. A win is a win. Dude.
A win is a win. I mean, 6 points in the first half, 10 in the third, 10 in the fourth, 6:29 to go, 26-0 Gators over the Green Wave at the Union Home Mortgage Gasparilla Bowl. Coming up next, as promised, just a little bit later than expected. Doug Peterson asked an interesting question earlier today about Mac Jones. You'll hear from it next.
Looking for a new vehicle? Take a look at Jenkins Hyundai of Jacksonville. Now's the time to save big. Choose from more than 250 new and over 1,000 used and certified pre-owned vehicles on the lot, or shop anytime at JenkinsHyundaiofJacksonville.com. Hyundai has one of the top warranties in the business. Lifetime, powertrain, and 5-year bumper-to-bumper warranty, plus 3 years free maintenance on a new vehicle. Give them the chance to earn your business today on Atlantic Boulevard or at JenkinsHyundaiofJacksonville.com.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
Now that's what I call high-quality H2O. If you want high-quality water in your home at a fair price that won't scare you to death, then talk to someone who knows water and is not a pushy salesman. Contact your local water boy, Keith. I install premium equipment and can repair or even rebuild your existing system. In a business known for aggressive sales tactics, let me show you how my approach is different. If you've got any water problems, contact the water boy at waterboyjack.com.
Hey, sports fans, it's Hayes Carlyon for MyBookie. While other books make promises, MyBookie delivers. This holiday season, they're stacking the deck in your favor with 12 days of Christmas now through the 31st, a festive lineup of can't-miss opportunities for bettors to cash in, risk-free Thursdays, super boosts, and free bets. Weekly casino giveaways with hundreds of winners and thousands in cash prizes. All it takes is a 50-cent spin on BetSoft slots to enter. With the road to New Orleans, bowl games galore, and a Christmas Day sports feast featuring NFL action and an NBA doubleheader, this is your season to win. The 12 Days of Christmas event is live right now. Lock in today. Use my code 1010XL with your first deposit, and MyBookie will give you a little extra to start your holiday hot. MyBookie is offering a 50% deposit bonus for 1010XL listeners. Just sign up and use promo code 1010XL. There's a reason MyBookie has been the go-to for serious bettors for 10 years. Make your holiday season a jolly one with MyBookie.
Huddle up at Hurricane Grill and Wings, where every day is game day. Dig into fan-favorite dishes and new shareables, including carne asada loaded fries, hot honey wings, and boom boom sliders. Try new cocktails like the spicy Guavarita and the Red Bullarita, or enjoy bucket specials featuring Miller Lite, Modelo Especial, and High Noon during all pro and college football games. Don't miss out. Grab your friends and family and swing by Hurricane Grill and Wings and see what everyone's cheering about. HurricaneWings.com.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On December 20th, 1981, NHL left wing Doug Smale sets NHL record, scoring in the first 4 seconds of the game for the fastest goal from an opening faceoff in history.
It's tune-up time, and Florida Home AC, the official AC partner of the Jaguars, wants to partner with you for a cool summer season. Tune up your AC unit right now so it's running at peak performance when you need it most. Just call 777-4300 and order a tune-up for just $59. Keep your unit humming at optimal level. Log on to FloridaHomeAC.com and take advantage of their savings. Keep cool with Florida Home AC. That's 777-4300.
This is Greg Huntington, a.k.a. The Mangler. I'm on the winning team at Waste Management. WM is the largest sustainability company in North America. If your business needs sustainable environmental services for waste removal and recycling collection, then you can count on the industry leader of WM to deliver results. Your services will be completed in a timely, safe, and eco-friendly manner. Go to WM.com/Duval. That's WM.com/Duval and get signed up today. If anyone can talk trash, it's the Mangler.
Help fight skin cancer by playing golf at the Hit 'em Straight Golf Tournament December 30th at Queens Harbor for a day of food and fun while raising money for the Melanoma Research Foundation. To sign up, call 904-507-1401.
Hi, I'm Chuck Farah. We know how important it is for you to have a vehicle after you've been injured in a car accident. So when we represent you for your personal injury claim, we'll help you get a rental car from the insurance company while your car is being repaired. And we'll provide this service at no additional fee. If you're hurt and you've got no car, let my team go to work for you. Farah & Farah, protecting you and your family. Call us at 396-5555 or go to farahandfarah.com. Jacksonville.
Shania Twain.
Let's go, girls.
Live in Jacksonville. Shania Twain. One incredible show. Live at Daly's Place, July 29th. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com. For more, visit ShaniaTwain.com.
Out of this world.
Homemade cookies baked fresh by Jen. Original 80s band named Ice Creams by Ray. Build your own cookie ice cream sandwiches from scratch. Cookies and Cream Jack's Beach. Open till 11 Friday and Saturday, 10 weekdays. Making our beach a better place. Cookies and Cream Jack's Beach.
This is Dr. James Perry, Assistant Team Physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jaguars, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
The position the team sits at right now gives younger players and depth pieces a great chance to get live reps and gives them a chance to prove themselves in game. With nothing on the team side of things to play for, individually, there's a lot at stake. Listen to Doug Peterson talk about the importance of the reps for the young guns late in the season.
I think it's huge. I think it's a big step forward for these players, really to finish the season the right way. Put good film on tape. Whether you're going to be a free agent or you're one of ours, right? You still want to put good film out there. And from a coaching perspective, gives you an idea of the type of player that you drafted, you brought onto your team, and then for the player, it gives him confidence.
I'm Max Fink with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Cold weather tonight, tomorrow. 3 out of the 4 playoff games in college football. Got to like the unders. Good defenses. So that would be the recipe. Again, you just can't stereotype it all. I mean, you could. It's your money, but we'll see individually what does take place. I bet I've read 15 previews on the Indiana Notre Dame game, and only one entity picked Indiana. The other 14 had Notre Dame. So, and you know they are favored by a touch. And it is at home. That should be a factor. And even if it's a rabid Indiana fan base, because I've seen where they've allowed folks in that stadium. I'll never forget the Nebraska game. That was a different set of circumstances. That's when Bob Davie was on the cusp of being fired. And Eric Crouch in Nebraska went in there. That was, I think it was 2001 maybe. 2001. I went to that game in South Bend when I was working in Chicago, and I'm telling you, half the stadium was filled with Big Red fans. Now, I also went to the game of the century, where the minimal amount of Florida State fans found their way in, and I paid $300 a ticket, $600 for my brother and I back at the game of the century. And again, the allotted amount, that was it. And even the year that Florida State won like 37-0 there at South Bend, that was the other time I went. Chris Ricks, maybe his best game. A few more folks made it in. So that'll be interesting tonight. I don't know how they do things. I would think it's just a normal home game. Same situation for season ticket holders and everything else. That'd be my opinion. I really didn't even read into it.
I heard that the stadiums or the schools are dealing with like all the ticketing like normally like that, but the in-game and everything around the game is controlled by the playoff, whatever that means. But to your point, there was a Georgia game like 2 or 3 years ago in South Bend that was taken over.
Oh, yeah. Big Red took it over.
Nothing but red. And even they were at the game at Wrigley like the day before. Georgia fans took over Wrigley Field. I don't know how far away that is from Notre Dame, but I guess not too far. It was 2001, by the way. Nebraska 27-10.
No, it was an overtime game.
Oh, so maybe that was a different year.
2000, because I was living in Chicago. It was either 2000 or 2001 with Eric Crouch.
Yeah, it was 2000.
Okay. Hey, I want to tell you something, Nebraska, because I've been to plenty of, I've been to Florida State Nebraska games in the Orange Bowl and things like that. Nebraska always travels well. I mean, they're ridiculous. They're known as like the greatest travelers of any college football fans, period. But what they did on that particular afternoon was just insane. And my point with this is, they traveled from the state of Nebraska. No lack of respect here, but, when's the last time you've seen a Nebraska fan walking around in Jacksonville or the state of Florida for that matter? Nebraska fans are in my opinion, isolated geographically speaking. They're basically in a small area. But I'm going to tell you something, man. They pack up and hit the road, and they travel. And let me say this, too. With all of the love and attention of the cathedrals in the Deep South, and they are the best, if you've never been to a game at Notre Dame, you should go. That is an experience. It really is. I saw our friend Albert Breer posted that he was at the linebacker bar. And every time, the 3 times I've been there, I went to that same bar. It's legendary, And Breer made a good point. He's like, unfortunately, a lot of these legendary bars, on-campus bars, get bulldozered over, and they put up a Target or put up condos, and that's happened all over the place, right? I mean, I remember the first at Florida State was a phenomenal on-campus bar. Now Florida State bought that and put up, I think classrooms or whatever it was, and maybe I don't know what it is. It may be living, whatever quarter. I don't know. I just don't know what went there, but it was a very sad day when that building went down, and that's happening all over the place. These schools continuously get bigger, so they give up the land for a whole heck of a lot of cash. All right, Aiden O'Connell, according to Antonio Pierce, should be good to go. We last saw him getting carted off the field in an air cast December 8th at Tampa, so the Raiders could have their quarterback back. He did not play Monday night in their loss to Atlanta. I will give you a full injury report coming up in a little bit, but let's check out on this Friday. I show you your Jaguars head coach, Doug Peterson, who earlier today was asked this.
What does Mac have to do to be a little bit better throwing the ball down the field, other than be accurate?
Don't adjust your radio. He hasn't answered yet. Ditto.
Part of the offense, part of, playing the position. We're going to, we have the ability to shoot the ball down the field, obviously, with BT. And
he is checked out, folks.
Counted
he has
17
checked
seconds.
out. I mean, if that's not a coach asking to be fired, what is? He had absolutely... It's not that he didn't have a clue on how to answer it. It's like he didn't want to answer it. He didn't want to be there. The guy doesn't want to be there anymore. I hate this ending for Doug Peterson because I really like him. I bet if you got with him one-on-one, away from the game on a golf course or, sitting around a patio, sipping some Irish whiskey, but he's a really good guy. That's my opinion of Doug Peterson. He's a really good guy. He has given up. I mean, give the reporter a little bit of lip service. Just give the basics, man. Well, we got to pass protect a little bit better. Well, we got to get a little bit sharp. I mean, he was dumbfounded. And
do you think he thought it was like a disrespectful question? And he was trying to like...
No, did you see his facial expression? I thought he was going to break out in a laugh.
He's like, that's impossible. That can't happen. I counted 17 seconds, by the way.
Was that really that long?
Dead air.
17 seconds for a very calming question. And I know the reason why the question was asked. I think it was Pro Football Focus or might have been Daniel Griffiths or someone came out this week saying that Mac Jones has yet to throw a football for 20 yards or longer that has been completed. So that's why the question came. It's a good question. And the answer, I mean, he was starstruck. So I mean, this season can't end fast enough. Hate to say it that way, but I just
don't you think he thought he was going to be gone
yes.
weeks ago?
I kind of want him to go the way that it was time for Gus, it was time for Doug Marrone, but they left with their dignity. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
They left with the respect. Marrone's a great guy. He's from the Bronx. Okay, he's from New York, but he used to have a barbecue every year, and he'd invite the media, and you get him away from football. Doug Marrone he's a good guy. Okay, Gus Bradley may be the greatest man you'll ever meet. I really, JJ, appreciate Doug Peterson. I like Doug Peterson. I hate the way he's handling things here down the stretch.
Yeah, he was always kind of like a little prickly with the media when things got kind of rough around here, but never like just totally not caring about this. And I think he probably thought he was fired before the bye week. And then it didn't happen. And he's like, well, screw it. I'm just going to do my best to not want to be here and let everybody else know. By the way, the press conference today was 5 minutes and 11 seconds long. Right. That answer was about half of that, not even joking. So, yeah, it's just he thought he was going to be home for the holidays with the family, cashing those checks. But instead, he's having to go to Vegas to play Aiden O'Connell.
I've conveniently avoided all week about picking a winner in this game. And I was going to try to slide through our final hour of programming without doing it, because I got to tell you something right now. And who said that? It was a Philly Godfather who said it. People aren't exactly rushing to your local bookie or no matter where it is to bet on this game. I mean, these are two football teams that are begging for the end of the year. There's no other way to say it. I mean, the Raiders have lost 10 in a row. That is a really bad football team. I mean, they don't have much to write about. I read like 4 different articles this week on Caleb on Chason, right? The guy who had 5 sacks here in 4 years all of a sudden has 3 sacks this year, and he's gotten plenty of burn ever since Mac Crosby has gone out for the Raiders. But, yeah, I'm never going to tell you what to do and what not to do, but I've always been one of those who believes that when you have 2 really bad football teams, your best bet is to probably not bet at all. Florida has my goodness, they have just destroyed Tulane. 32-0 Gators. Remember this on their way to winning a national championship in 2025 with the PAT notwithstanding. They're actually going to get a 15-yard penalty here, I believe, for excessive celebration. Looks like they got a bunch of walk-ons in, and the people are going crazy.
Yeah, they gave, what's the 400-pound defensive tackle's name?
Oh, Watson?
They gave him a carry.
Did they really?
Yeah, and he got the first down earlier in the drive. So they're just clowning now.
Yeah,
I love that.
It looked at the guy who just scored. I'll have to get his. He looked like Florida's Rudy.
And that's why they all celebrated like that.
And you know what he did? When he got into the end zone, he literally spiked the football. He's like, this is going to be my only play ever, my only carry ever as a Gator. So I'm going to make it historical. And he just did. So PAT coming up right now. Florida up 32-0 over Tulane, just over 1 minute remaining. And the Gators are going to go to 8-5. Let's get ready for hour number 2. We'll get you involved with the program. If you'd like to comment, you can. Always the best way to do that is on our text line. That number for you is 641-1010, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures.
It's football all day on Pregame Friday.
Little pigskin, why not?
Get the news, notes, and inside stuff you need to get ready for game day.
It's fantastic.
Pregame Friday.
Brought to you by Dream Finders Homes on 1010XL. Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
Do the Garber wiggle, 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 Garber wiggle. It's the time of year all our customers love.
At Garber Auto Mall, every 2024 must go. Take advantage of thousands in discounts on all new Chevy, Buick, GMC, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Ford. Visit us in Green Cove Springs or at GarberAutomall.com. And remember, at Garber Auto Mall, there's always a little room for wiggle.
Garber wiggle, Garber wiggle, 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 Garber wiggle.
Ballou here for Smunez Vision. Why Smunez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Smunez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Smunez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Smunez is fellowship trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit SmunezVision.com today. Here you can see.
Hey everybody, Mike Dempsey here for Dandy Foods. Dandy subs and sandwiches. Look, we always want you to think about those great options as you're driving around Duval. But the beauty is, even as I'm dropping pounds, Dandy's got great options for me as well. Told you all about their protein packs, delicious salads that they have out there. They have fruit cups for on the go. You know what they have. Veggie snack trays. You can grab those on the go as well. Perfect, healthy snack. Dandy is the name to know when you're on the go. So stop into a Gate store anywhere around Duval and make yours a dandy, and do it today.
Home of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Integrity, persistence, and standing up for victims. It's what you want in a personal injury case, and what my friend and lawyer Glenn Cohen brings to every case for over 40 years. Call Glenn at Barnes & Cohen.
Mia here. When it comes to roofing, whether it be shingles, metal, or most repairs, there is one name that has protected your home since 1999. Pro-Jax Roofing. Serving all of Northeast Florida, Mike and his guys have been repairing and replacing roofs for 25 years. Need insurance help? Mike's team can help. Raised in a military family, Mike provides great attention to detail with unparalleled quality and workmanship. They also have warranties, so you can have peace of mind. Call Mike today for a free estimate or online at projaxroofingfl.com.
I'm with Greg from Cycles of Jacksonville. No matter the weather, Triumph has an unbelievable selection of rides where you can get out and just enjoy the highway.
They do. The new Rocket is out with the new color schemes, the Tiger 1200, which has been revamped. These bikes are nice, gorgeous, and ready to ride.
And if you want to take a look at the selection, they can just roll into the showroom and see a full variety.
We've got them all in stock and ready to go.
So if you log on, cyclesofjacksonville.com, search the Triumph line, and then head into the showroom. You'll be impressed. Cycles of Jacksonville.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg of Underwood Jewelers. Clayton, you have told us about buying better quality diamonds, but is there any way to start with a smaller diamond and use it to trade up to a larger diamond later on?
Frank, it's interesting you'd ask that because our founder, H.F. Underwood, popularized growing your diamond here in Jacksonville about 50 years ago, and it's something we still do today. When a customer buys an Underwood engagement ring or solitaire diamond pendant or a pair of ear studs, we guarantee they get the price they paid for it on the purchase of any larger diamond. Now, a lot of stores would say, big deal. We do that too, but here's the Underwood difference. We guarantee you get what you paid when you trade in your Underwood diamond, even if you're trading up by only $1. It's not that you have to trade up 2 for 1 like most jewelers ask. There have been literally thousands of people in the Jacksonville area who have taken advantage of our policy, and Underwood still grows a lot of diamonds for a lot of people.
Underwood, serving excellence since 1928. In San Marco, Avondale, and the shops of Ponte Vedra.
Bold City Brewery, established in 2008, is the oldest craft brewery in Jacksonville and proud to celebrate 16 years of brewing greatness in Duval. 2 locations serving delicious beers, seltzers, ciders, all produced in-house. Check out Bold City downtown on Bay Street or hit the production house and restaurant on Roselle Street in Riverside. Bold City Brewery, with something for everyone, brewing great beers and serving fantastic food to all of Duval. Log on and be bold. BoldCityBrewery.com.
This is Hayes Carline for SkyLife Elite. Are you tired of canceled flights, unruly passengers, and layovers? Call my friends at SkyLife Elite. Consider using private charter flights for your next adventure. Yes, you can afford it. Make your own schedule. Fly direct. Drive your car to Craig Airport and get directly on the plane. SkyLife Elite can make that happen. Call 490-9332, go to flyskylife.com, and find them on social media. Fly SkyLife Elite, North Florida's premier private air charter.
Happy holidays, Googans. Santa Dan here. It's the holiday season, and that means hopefully more off time with the fam. Need a solid gift idea for the spouse or a specific family member? Beaches Dermatology can ensure that your special someone gets a great gift that won't break the bank and won't go hidden in a drawer. Botox, skin treatments, you name it, they have it. Take care of that spouse of yours this holiday season with a gift from Beaches Dermatology. Call today or go online at beachesdermatology.com.
Make a resolution this new year to send all of your friends or family a Kuhn Flowers floral arrangement. ET here with 1010XL. Okay, how about sending just one person you love a floral arrangement? Kuhn Flowers can handle it.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Let's go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
You know, I typically don't care much about the Pro Bowl, but you may. And you've only got a couple of days left to vote if you want to, select the Jacksonville Jaguar. I guess there's 3 days left. Saquon Barkley is your leader overall in votes, but they list the top 10. Jacksonville's only got 2 guys on this list. The 6th overall punter is Logan Cook. That is a joke. Logan Cook should be the Pro Bowl punter. He is arguably Jacksonville's best player. Again, in my opinion, it's Brian Thomas Jr., the best player of the year, and then I put Logan Cook in at number 2. As far as defensive ends, you have Trayvon Walker in at 10. Hendrickson, Myles Garrett, Daniil Hunter, Max Crosby, Will Anderson Jr., Nick Bosa, Josh Sweat, Micah Parsons, wow, all the way down. I know he missed some time. He was injured. Rashawn Gary, and then Trayvon Walker at number 10. So you still got a couple of days to do that. So we see the wide receivers. If it's going to be tough for Thomas, with a 3-win team, I think that hurts him, not here, but across the country. And again, Jacksonville's always in that 1 o'clock time slot with several other games. I'm not trying to make excuses here. I'm just trying to be realistic. If I look at wide receivers, where do you put him in? Be fair. Where do you put in Brian Thomas Jr. based on 14 career games? Justin Jefferson. All right, then it's Chase. Then it's St. Brown. Then it's McLaurin. Then it's Lamb. Then it's Pickens. Zay Flowers, A.J. Brown, Jaden Reed, Nico Collins. I can see Brian Thomas Jr. getting into the top 5 or 6. I can. I mean, Jefferson and Chase are ahead. Lamb is ahead. McLaurin right now is ahead. St. Brown right now is ahead. But I think at almost no time he can chase down Pickens, Zay Flowers. I'm actually surprised A.J. Brown's not a little bit higher. It's probably because he's been complaining all year. A.J. Brown, in my mind, would be higher. I didn't vote. And then Jaden Reed and Nico Collins, put him ahead. Any thoughts on that? And again, I really don't care much about the Pro Bowl, but I'm telling the listeners out there that if they do care, you need to go cast your vote.
I think it might hurt him that he's going to have Mac Jones for these last few games instead of Trevor, and I think that's just, we saw last game. He didn't have any catches in the whole first half. So I do think that that's going to hurt him towards the end here. And like you always say, and he's a Jag, and they just don't get the respect that a lot of players do around the league. So if there is a player who's similar in stats, they're always going to go with him over the Jaguar.
It's a little disappointing that Jacksonville did not showcase his skills earlier in the year. If you look at targets per game, they were really down with Trevor Lawrence. Now, they've increased recently with Mac Jones, the majority of them in the second half. But I think he had 14 targets last week, which is by far the most. So over the last 3 games, he's, I think, 4th in the NFL as far as targeted. And
which makes sense because they're down to him and Parker Washington.
Yeah, it really does. It absolutely
they've
does.
Gotten. It wouldn't have mattered. The season was already over, but they've they've gotten just destroyed with injuries on the offense, like pass catcher wise, the last month.
That crossing pattern was not. It's nice to see.
They should do that more.
His route tree growing, and that is evident. All right, Tulane did score, and
they ruined the shutout, 33-8.
Got a 2-point conversion, but the Gators now win 4 in a row to close out the year, and they go to 30. They win at 33-8. But this is And let me tell you something right now. This is going to take over a lot of these airwaves, and frankly, they deserve it. But you win those last 4 games against blue bloods. I mean, you beat LSU. You beat Mississippi's not a blue blood. You beat Florida State. They're a blue blood. They had an awful year. And then you took on Tulane. Tulane was limited here. Their quarterback transferred. He went to Duke. Their top 3 defensive players weren't there. But still, Florida had over 500 yards, and they went 33-8. They flipped a bunch of recruits. They're going to have a ton of momentum during the offseason. And it's going to be, I think, a very intriguing next couple of weeks to see what Billy Napier does with the staff, to see what else they can do when it comes to flipping commitments, including the wide receiver that we talked about yesterday, Wilson, who wants out of Oregon.
And they just got a transfer portal receiver as well today, UCLA.
Yeah, I saw that. God, his name was on the tip of my, was it, I can't think of his name. It's a cool last name.
It is Michael Sturdivant.
There you go, Sturdivant.
Who had in 2 seasons, he had 900 yards and 6 touchdowns.
Reminds me of Sturdivant, the old Georgia offensive lineman who kind of did the little giddy up around the, and when after Georgia scored here in the game, Mark Richt, the entire team ran into the end zone. I think it was Turretin Sturdivant, or I can't, Trenton Sturdivant. I can't remember his entire name, but he was a pretty good offensive lineman in his career for Georgia, but I always thought it was a cool name. Now you got one in Florida.
Trenton, there
you go. Trenton Sturdivant. And, to everyone run on the field, he was the one I remember most when that actually did happen
the
there.
Gator stomp.
Oh, they just took the 15 yards. They said, go ahead and penalize us 15. We're going to get the crowd into this.
Imagine if they would have lost that game. You remember the year after, Urban, they put it on them.
Yeah.
I think it was 38-10 or something. They really beat the brakes off in the season after that.
Unfortunately, I missed a lot of the world's largest outdoor cocktail parties live.
You were in London.
Yeah, we were in London or we were somewhere, but always out on the road. I think there was one year where the Jags had the bye. And I remember myself and my GF went with Frangie and his wife. They got us some nice seats, and it was cool. I hated it, though, because Florida won that day.
49-10.
That was
the next year.
I think it was the Futon Bada year at quarterback.
Oh, Futon Bada. Oh, my God. He was so bad.
And they put us in a nice area where it was all you can eat and all you can drink. And I was like, just put away the beer, man. I'm going to need some liquor today because Georgia can't even cross midfield against Florida. But, I just haven't had an opportunity to go to many of those as of late. For that very reason. All right, the very latest on the Jaguars coming up on Sunday. And, this is a team that obviously is limping into the game if you consider the players who are gone for the year, placed on the injured reserve. Outside of that, it's a pretty healthy football team. The offensive line is beaten up, and it's the same old for Ezra Cleveland. The knee limited all week long. He should be good to go. All right, Brenton Strange, the shoulder. Now, the knee is gone for Brenton Strange. That was on the injury report last week. I want to say it was on the injury report Wednesday. I may be incorrect there. But he's been limited all week. He should be good to go. Walker Little rolled that ankle. Doug Peterson told us earlier in the week he'd be good to go, and he is. And actually, that was my mistake. Brandon Sheriff still has the knee and the shoulder. So instead I was looking at Brenton Strange, who has the shoulder injury as well. That's going to be a fascinating part of this game. You want to see Strange get in and hopefully, once again, It's Brenton Strange and it's Brian Thomas Jr., who are not only number 1 and 2 in targets, but also in reception and yardage. But what to do on the other side, speaking of Georgia, when you look at Brock Bowers, this man is absolutely phenomenal. Okay, what a football player. And he is on the cusp of setting records, period, for receiving yards for tight ends. I mean, you got to go back to Mike Ditka way back in the 1960s, and Bowers is going to do that. And I'm going to be interested to see in game what Jacksonville does to try to check him. Because Jerrion Jones was asked about it this week. That's a tough assignment for a rookie, even though he's going against a rookie. We all remember when those two met each other last year in the Oh, no, that's right. Neither of them played in that Orange Bowl. Anyway, a week doesn't go by where we don't talk about how Devin Lloyd shouldn't be in coverage, how that's really not the strength of the game for Fourier Oluokun to be in coverage. Does it make sense for the Jaguars to put Tyson Campbell on the Raiders' best player? You don't see it all that often. You really don't. Now, the last time I can remember talking about something like this would have been during the playoff game a couple of years ago when we were talking about what do you do to defend Kelsey? And sure enough, what happened in that game? Christian Kirk dropped a touchdown pass. What else happened in that game? When push came to shove, Jacksonville could not defend Travis Kelsey. And that was a totally different defensive scheme. We know that it has changed. But to me, hey, there's not a lot here to really point at and say, that's got me fired up. I'm excited. I am excited to watch how Jacksonville matches up here against Brock Bowers. I really am, because he's that much fun to watch. And it does appear that Aiden O'Connell is going to be the starting quarterback. We talked about that a little bit earlier, but it was said today by Antonio Pierce that, in fact, he should be good to go overall for the Raiders. All right, when we come back, let's get back to some college football. Why don't we do that? We've talked a little bit about, we've talked quite a bit about tonight's game between Indiana and Notre Dame. What about the other 3 games? Could SMU really go into Penn State and win? And they got the type of quarterback in Kevin Jennings who can do it. They can really run the football with Brashard Smith. You've got that whole James Franklin can't win a big game kind of hanging over their head. Want to talk to you about, get into that conversation. And then the 2 games that I think around here mean the most, right? Clemson, because you're familiar with the program. Texas, because they're new in the Southeastern Conference. And then, of course, late night with Tennessee in the SEC trying to go out and win a game in Columbus, Ohio. Going to be very chilly there. Same deal with Happy Valley as well as South Bend tonight. Hey, let me help you out with the holidays here. I have the perfect gift for you. The Blue Crab House. They're open until 9 tonight. Okay? They're open until 9 tomorrow night. They're open until 9 on Sunday. They're closed on Monday. Then Tuesday night's Christmas Eve. You know who closes the Blue Crab House on Christmas Eve? Ballou. Ballou and his GF and some other assorted friends. That'll be Tuesday night. But let me tell you, and I do that all the time. I got that ugly Miller Lite sweater, JJ. And I say ugly because it's one of those ugly Christmas sweaters.
It's beautiful, though.
Have you had an opportunity to wear yours out yet?
It's a little small.
Oh, is it?
It is.
All right.
I've been working out, bro.
Give it to someone else.
I will.
Yeah, okay. And
hopefully not a small child, but.
You spend $50, you get a $65 gift card from the Blue Crab House. And think about how easy it is. Oh, what should I get so-and-so? No, I got you solved right here. I got all your problems solved. $50, you get a $65 gift card at the Blue Crab House. They are right off of San Jose on Julington Creek Road.
Game day hits the ground running early with news and notes, fun facts, and the names you need to know with the Terminix Kickoff Show.
Let's go!
5 hours before kickoff. Presented by Clearwater Irrigation and Gatorade on 1010XL.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialist is now offering ortho walk-in appointments. If you have an immediate need for orthopedic care, contact Southeast Orthopedic Specialist immediately. Avoid ERs and urgent care waiting rooms. For more information, go to se-ortho.com.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Are you tired of having a plain and boring backyard? Really want to impress your family and friends this year? Then stop by Stone Core on Phillips Highway. Imagine hosting guests at your new outdoor kitchen, relaxing by your custom-built fireplace under a brand new pergola. Stone Core can also remodel your old pool deck and beautiful new pavers. Make your backyard wishes a reality. Visit Stone Core on Phillips Highway and let's get started at stonecore.co. We do outdoors better.
Have you or someone you care about been arrested or had their driver's license taken away? I'm Susan Cohen, and I work with David Robbins at the law firm of Epstein & Robbins. We are experienced fighters for those charged with DUI and all criminal offenses. I've been named the best DUI attorney in the state, and David has been named the best criminal defense lawyer in Jacksonville. In your battle with the justice system, there is only one thing you need to know. Dial David 24/7 at Epstein & Robbins, 354-5645.
This holiday season, give the gift of comfort and joy. Comfort food and the joy that comes with digging into a huge plate of diner favorites from Metro Diner. And to make things even more merry, now through the end of the year, they're adding on a $10 bonus card with every $50 spent on gift cards. Metro Diner gift cards are the perfect gift for everyone on your list. Friends, family, or coworkers. Stop by the diner or metrodiner.com and get all your gift shopping done easily. Happy holidays from Metro Diner.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On December 20th, 1981, NHL left wing Doug Smale sets NHL record, scoring in the first 4 seconds of the game for the fastest goal from an opening faceoff in history.
Navy Mutual was created by service members for service members, so we know what it means to serve. Our policies have no active duty service restrictions, so you can rest assured that you're covered no matter your duty station, home or abroad. To go even further, we promise that premiums will not be higher for those who serve in dangerous environments, including aviation, diving, or on deployments. Let us help you protect those you love the most. Learn more at NavyMutual.org.
Hey, what are you doing up on the step stool?
About to clean these light fixtures. The whole family's coming over, and if there's even a speck of dust in the house, my abuela will find it.
Here, I got a Swiffer duster to help with that.
A Swiffer what?
A Swiffer duster. It has this cool extendable handle that reaches 6 feet to get high and low, with fluffy dusters that easily trap and lock dust.
So no more step stool?
No more step stool.
Easily trap and lock dust from hard-to-reach places with the Swiffer duster. Love it or your money back.
Hey, sports fans, it's Hayes Carlyon for MyBookie. While other books make promises, MyBookie delivers. This holiday season, they're stacking the deck in your favor with 12 days of Christmas now through the 31st, a festive lineup of can't-miss opportunities for bettors to cash in. Risk-free Thursdays, super boosts, and free bets. Weekly casino giveaways with hundreds of winners and thousands in cash prizes. All it takes is a 50-cent spin on BetSoft slots to enter. With the road to New Orleans, bowl games galore, and a Christmas Day sports feast featuring NFL action and an NBA doubleheader, this is your season to win. The 12 Days of Christmas event is live right now. Lock in today. Use my code 1010XL with your first deposit, and MyBookie will give you a little extra to start your holiday hot. MyBookie is offering a 50% deposit bonus for 1010XL listeners. Just sign up and use promo code 1010XL. There's a reason MyBookie has been the go-to for serious bettors for 10 years. Make your holiday season a jolly one with MyBookie.
Help fight skin cancer by playing golf at the Hit 'em Straight Golf Tournament December 30th at Queens Harbor for a day of food and fun while raising money for the Melanoma Research Foundation. To sign up, call 904-507-1401.
Mueller Air and Plumbing presents Are You Cool?
Today's contestant, a professional stamp licker from Jacksonville, Florida, meet Martin Celery.
Oh, gosh. I can't wait to play, Bob.
Well, let's move things along. Tell him what he's won, Johnny.
Wait,
but
That's right, Marty. At Bueller Air and Plumbing, we've stocked up on the remaining inventory of low-cost 2024 model air conditioners, so you win. We're passing the savings on to you.
Can I answer a question first?
We need to make room for the 25s, so we're offering great deals on AC replacements while supplies last.
Could I spin the wheel at least? I've been practicing for a year.
With last-minute deals like this, there's no question that you are cool.
What'll I tell my kids?
There you go. Have a souvenir T-shirt.
Thanks.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
David here with Royal Pest Services. Here's a special message from our president.
Thanks, David. This is Jordan Harrington, president of Royal Pest Services. We'd like to thank everyone who has trusted Royal Pest for their pest control needs this year. Wishing all a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year from the Royal Pest family.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Saudi Arabia has become the new Las Vegas as far as the fight game. Tyson Fury, 281 pounds. I mean, enormous. He'll take on Usyk. That'll be the fight tomorrow. What do you say, around 7 o'clock Saturday time?
Yeah, it'll probably be at sort of like as the Clemson game is winding down, like before the 8 o'clock game. So I'm looking forward to it. The first fight was pretty close. I had Usyk winning. But I think with this weight, I think Fury's going to try to do his best to just lean on him the entire fight and try to win that way with his weight and his size. Like, Usyk was a heavyweight for only the last, 4 or 5 fights. You know, he was a cruiserweight before that. So he's not a naturally big guy like some of these heavyweights are. So I'm expecting another close one, but I think Usyk will take it. Just he'll outbox Fury. Maybe Fury will slow down with that much weight towards the end. And that's sort of what happened in the first fight. It was close the first half, and then Usyk really started to kick his ass late in the fight. I think that'll happen again.
Usyk, the defending, Olympic champion, 226 pounds. I think there's only 2 things in life, if you're a man, where you shouldn't put on weight. Number 1 is a fight, okay? And reports here that Tyson Fury weighed 262 pounds in May, up to 281 he was just weighed moments ago. The second thing would be, and my friend became the exception to the rule, this was years ago, a Florida State buddy of mine. He's the only guy I know who put on 20 pounds before a wedding. Okay.
Wow. Before his own wedding?
Guys and gals. Yeah, his own wedding.
Wow. Yeah, I was trying my best to I was making sure I was looking tan.
Me too, man. I got married.
Looking svelte.
I was working in Chicago, and I get done at 1, I get at 1:30. I go to the gym in our, at the time, apartment complex. It's like 2:30 in the morning, and it's 10 degrees out, and I'm on the treadmill, just trying to shed every pound that I can, for the photo album. My buddy, man, I love this guy's a classic. I still talk to him to this day. His name's Ben. He put on a legitimate 20 pounds right before his wedding.
Was it on purpose or just stressed?
No, he was just partying his brains out.
Okay. He's like, this is it.
Still happily married to this day.
Okay, good. I was just about to. I intentionally got a smaller, a pretty tight pair of pants for my wedding as motivation. Being to really fit into this, you're going to have to bust your ass over the next couple months.
Oh.
And I did.
I was smart enough to get married back in, I actually got married in Tallahassee, but it was tough to lose weight, especially in Chicago. I mean,
the food there, I heard, is the best.
Oh, man, there's no excuse about losing weight in Jacksonville. If you really want to lose weight, you should be able to lose weight because the weather is your friend.
Oh, you could walk outside at 9 in the morning and sweat.
You cannot do that in
crazy.
Chicago.
Yeah.
If you're going to try to lose weight in Chicago, you got to join a gym. Either that or just stop eating. All right, Chicago, down the road, South Bend. We know about that. We've talked about that game quite a bit. The one matchup that I'm really intrigued about here is the one that I think is getting the least amount of play. That is Clemson, because they're such a overwhelming underdog in Texas, in Austin, the one team who has 3 losses. There's a lot of things to consider here for Clemson. Number one, Cade Klubnik is a very good two-way running back who won games individually this year with his feet. Now, he was forced to do that because Phil Maffa at times just couldn't go. He was beaten up. And even though he had over 1,000 yards rushing, it wasn't as if he was at full strength. Garrett Riley tonight, I think, in a situation where there is zero pressure on Clemson. And I'm not a big fan of using that phrase because as far as I'm concerned, when you get into the playoffs, there should be pressure on everyone. But again, just look around. No matter where you go, Texas is the pick. Texas is going to advance, even though Texas really doesn't have a great win this year. Who did they knock off? They knocked off Texas A&M late in the year. Who else did Texas beat? Florida's playing better football now. But when they beat Florida, they really kind of turned it around after that beating.
Michigan, who sucked.
Yep.
At the beginning of the year, you're like, that's a good win, but it just didn't really turn out to be much.
Yep. And I can't get through the Quinn Ewers story. This, to me, is remarkable, yet I guess I shouldn't be surprised, nor should you be surprised. But it feels like tonight could be his final game. I've actually read in a couple of places where someone didn't say injury, but they actually said, well, I hope that this game has everything we want, including Arch Manning, rescuing Texas deep in the fourth quarter. The only thing that this is comparable to me is Tebow and Chris Leak. Okay? And even though Chris Leak is the all-time leading passer at Florida, he became expendable at the University of Florida, even during that national championship season. I mean, Gator fans were just like, Chris, just go away. We don't want you anymore. We want Tim Tebow. It almost feels like this is being a similar situation where, Mel Kiper's comments this week about Ewers, unless he plays well in the playoffs, is going to be a second or third round pick. And Texas wants Arch Manning. Okay? This feels like, did you watch the Aaron Hernandez
drama? Like the
series that came out?
No, I did not.
It's actually pretty good. But one part in it, and I don't know if it's true or not, because anything that comes out of the mouth of Urban Meyer, you just don't know if it's true. But right around when he won the Mackey Award for the best tight end that year in college football, Aaron Hernandez in the series walks up to Urban Meyer and says, I want to come back. Mm-hmm. I want to, and Urban Meyer looks at him and he says, no, there's no longer a place for you here at the University of Florida. Go pro. And obviously his draft stock fell a little bit because he smoked marijuana and all the other issues. He shot someone in the face.
Yeah, I was about to say.
I shouldn't laugh about that.
I'm sure that was probably why.
I shouldn't laugh about shooting someone in the face. But anyway, his draft stock fell. But
I have heard that story multiple times about Urban saying that.
But there was an example of a great player where you'd warmed out your welcome. It feels like this is going on at Texas. Like, regardless of what happens, in 9 months, they want Arch Manning to be their starting quarterback. It's the first family of football. And for Ewers, win or lose tonight, it wraps up at Texas. He either goes pro or he transfers to another school.
I would be shocked if he transferred. Like, even if you have a second-round grade, third-round grade, you still got to be like, this is my time to go, man. Like, I have to leave now. Listen, this quarterback class is not really great. They all say, like, after Shador and Cam, put it in whatever order you want with those two. But after that, it's like a huge drop-off. If you're Ewers, you have a chance to be that third quarterback. Make something of yourself during the draft process. We've seen so many quarterbacks go from whatever they're graded at in January and become like a top 10 pick out of nowhere. Like, that always happens with quarterbacks. Yeah. So if I'm him, you got to leave. As a Miami fan, though, damn.
Well, I was going to say,
we really need a freaking quarterback, and that would be absolutely perfect.
Well, look at some of the situations around college football. Will Howard's gone. What if Ohio State calls? You mentioned Miami. What if Jalen Milroe decides to come out?
Yeah, that hasn't been decided yet.
Okay.
Perfect
What if
example.
he's got an opportunity to go to Alabama? I mean, he's not going to make a Luke Kromenhoek move here and go to Mississippi State. By the way, I lost a lot of respect for Kromenhoek. You know how I felt about all of that. Why go to a loser? You know, what you're saying to me is that money is the most important thing because you're going to lose at Mississippi State. Mississippi State is the runt of college football in the Southeastern Conference. You're going to win 2, 3, 4 games a year. Maybe you're getting paid a little bit more, but why not go to a school where you have an opportunity to win? Quinn Ewers is going to be able to pick where he wants to go, and it's going to be a blue blood.
Yeah, it should be. And quickly on Kromenhoek, yeah, I think that Florida State next year is going to end up with more wins than Mississippi State. I don't care what happened this year. It's still Florida State. But I also think that nowadays Kromenhoek probably looks at it as, this isn't even my last stop.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll go here and play well for a year in a losing effort and then go to an Auburn or, somebody bigger than that.
But he could be seeing ghosts at Mississippi State.
Same as he was at Florida State, though. I mean, like that O-line was getting him
terrible, but
smothered.
I mean, but why not pick another school where at least you have a chance to be competitive?
Yeah, I don't know if there was that many schools offering a starting position, though. Mississippi State, it's like he's a lock now to start there.
I'll be really surprised if he plays his career at Mississippi State.
Me too, if he stays the whole time.
That's going to be, as far as I'm concerned, a very difficult process there. So this is fascinating with what we're going to watch here with these 4 games. And, there's no shortage of storylines, but Quinn Ewers, he could already have been told that this is it. And that's just amazing to me if that is the case. But it really feels like it. It also feels like there's a lot of media pressure here. That Manning family, right? I mean, nothing is fair in the Manning family. All you got to do is look back and, when Eli said, no, I'm not going to play in San Diego, he wasn't even criticized by the national media. They're like, oh, who wants to go to San Diego? The Manning family stepped up. Well, there was more criticism to Bo Jackson. There was more criticism to John Elway. When Bo said no to Tampa, when John Elway said no to Baltimore, the old Baltimore Colts. With the Manning family, it was just like, oh, it's the Mannings. We're going to let it slide. It's the Mannings. And the same things happen here now with the nephew, with Arch Manning. But it is, unfortunately, what it is. All right, let's take our final break of the night. Friday night. My goodness, the Gators are winner. I mean, the town is just going insane right now. They won a Gasparillo victory for Florida. DJ Lagway is going to be a preseason Heisman Trophy candidate. You're loading up at wide receiver. You're getting kids to stay. Billy Napier, I think, has to make some coaching decisions, including who is going to call plays. But there's a lot to be happy about right now for Florida Gator fans. And this is what's great about the offseason is that it's so long in college football. And again, perfect scenario for Florida would have been they would have had another week to practice and play closer to New Year's Day. So they didn't get the full allotment of those 15 work days. But, I mean, no one's going to complain about it now, right? After winning 33-8, you just kind of tie it up and you move on. But they've got plenty of momentum. To me, in college football, that is huge. And it could change on a dime. Look how the momentum changed for Florida State last year. After being left out, getting blown out in the Orange Bowl, and then crying and feeling sorry for themselves the entire offseason, okay? Florida is the exact opposite. You wanted to fire your coach. Bowl Gators were going crazy. Then all of a sudden, everything changed after the Scott Strickland letter. And the team always played hard under this guy. But you look at off-season momentum, whenever the Gators get mentioned, it's going to be positive, 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 positive. Every single week, every single month, through spring ball, through everything else. And it's going to be pretty interesting to see where they are. I still wish they had the old divisions, the East and West, but, I mean, where is Florida going to be preseason-wise next year? My guess is top 15, top 12. That would be my guess. All right, much more to do with you tonight till 8 o'clock.
Every NFL Sunday starts with a kickoff.
All you got to do is put your foot right through the ball.
After the game, we'll crown the special teams player of the game.
He is a difference maker now.
Brought to you by Crown Royal
This is the last play of the game.
on 1010XL.
Rev up your life with luxury at Vaughn Motor Group on San Jose Boulevard. This is the best time of year to buy a pre-owned Corvette. Used car prices are 12% lower than their peak in April of 2022. And Vaughn Motor Group has the best prices and selection right now. Come see why Vaughn Motor Group sells more Corvettes than anyone in the area. Stop in or call to start driving your dream car. Complete inventory listing online. If you can dream it, you can drive it at Vaughn Motor Group.
Homemade cookies baked fresh by Jen. Original 80s band named Ice Creams by Ray. Build your own cookie ice cream sandwiches from scratch. Cookies and cream Jack's Beach. Open till 11 Friday and Saturday, 10 weekdays. Making our beach a better place. Cookies and cream Jack's Beach.
Hey folks, Dave Benyon here with Zero Res. At Zero Res, we love rugs. We will treat your fine Oriental rugs with the tender and loving care they deserve. Gerard, the Zero Res rug manager, is one of the few certified master rug cleaners in Florida. If you want your rugs cleaned with tender loving care, call Zero Res. Right now, get your rugs washed and we will give you 25% off. Zero Res, spelled forward or backwards, it's the right way to clean.
Zero Res.
Ho, ho, ho! When I need gifts for special people, I go to Tobacco Cove at 3849 Bay Meadows Road. They have everything you need to make Christmas as special as they are. Find the finest in limited cigars, pipes and pipe tobacco, and the accessories that make life easier like humidors, cutters, and lighters. And don't forget Lampe Bergère fragrance lamps. So, take my advice and go to Tobacco Cove, 3849 Bay Meadows Road, and make this Christmas one they'll remember.
One of college football's most storied programs.
Get the latest from the Tallahassee Tribe on the Seminole Report.
Brought to you by your local Ag Pro, your home team. Stay close to the Seminoles on 1010XL.
Hey, I'm Ben Kay, owner of Gotham City Limit, your local comic shop. Here to let you know we're doing 20% off the entire store, now through Christmas. So unleash your gift-giving spirit, let your passion transmit. Do what we do and take it to the limit. Visit GothamCityLimit.com for more information.
It's a sale so big, Santa wants to get in on it.
It's Beard's Diamonds' incredible 44th anniversary sale, held over till Christmas Eve. Everything store-wide is on sale, up to 44% off.
Beard's Diamonds at the St. John's Town Center or beardsdiamonds.com.
Christmas is a great time to show loved ones you're thinking about them, and no better way than a beautiful piece of jewelry from Golden Diamonds Direct. They've been in business on the First Coast for 40 years. In fact, this is their 40th Christmas, putting something special under the tree for that special someone. Drop on by Golden Diamonds Direct on Racetrack Road in the Plantation Publix Plaza and see what an incredible selection of great gift ideas they have, making this giving season memorable. Golden Diamonds Direct on Racetrack Road in the Publix Plantation Plaza.
Come on, admit it. Almost everyone you know seems to be playing pickleball now, right? So whether you just want to learn how to play or you're ready to show off your elite pickleball skills, the Y is the place for you. Visit our brand new McGuire Family Pickleball Center at the Brown Family YMCA in Ponte Vedra Beach. 5 top quality outdoor courts and 3 amazing indoor courts where you can learn about dinks, dill ball, falafel, the kitchen, and more pickleball slang at the Y.
Jacksonville contractors and business owners, do you need bathroom partitions and accessories? Frank Frangie here. Coyle & Sons has been in business in Jacksonville since 1927. They've earned the reputation of quality and specialized skill. Coyle & Sons are the ones trusted in Jacksonville by the top contractors, and they can stand on their reputation when you need almost 100 years of commercial contractor experience. Coyle & Sons will design it for you. Call them today at 904-356-4821 or visit them at coiljacks.com.
Pickett here with my concierge doctor, Richard Townsend. Doc T, how does a concierge direct primary care operate?
We are a membership-based primary care made directly between a patient and physician. We'll have a limited amount of patients that allows us to give unlimited access and personal service to you. This individualized approach has been shown to lower hospitalizations as well as maintain healthier lives. We also give 24/7 access via phone to me outside of our scheduled office hours.
To learn more, go to mypvconcierge.com.
Bold City Brewery invites you to celebrate Dubs and Duval all season long with a cold pint. Enjoy all their beer, seltzer, ciders by logging on to boldcitybrewery.com. Head to the production house on Roselle Street in Riverside or Bold City downtown and be bold.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the cool down from the cool guys at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Fast, reliable, and honest service since '87.
Well, the Jaguars in Las Vegas. They'll lead tomorrow. They'll play at 4:25. We'll have all that action for you right here on the home of the Jaguars. Pre-game, in-game, post-game. So keep it right here. I guess really the only big thing to keep an eye on is the shoulder for Brent Strange. Had a very good game, best game of his career, as we do know, on last Sunday. Hopefully that continues with the walking wounded at the skill position offensively for Jacksonville. So expect an awful lot of him. Certainly Brian Thomas Jr., and I would think even more Parker Washington coming up against the Raiders. Quick announcement. Monday and Tuesday and Friday next week, I'll be with you 4 to 6 with Hayes Carline and JJ. Okay, that's 4 to 6 on Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. We'll be off Christmas. We are also off the entire radio station on Thursday. But no 6 to 8 next week. That'll be 4 to 6. So looking forward to talking with you there. All right, we got a couple of minutes left. Let's go through it real quick. Any chance Indiana pulls off the upset tonight against Notre Dame?
Absolutely. If they get off to an early lead and, Notre Dame's behind 10 points or something early in the game, they don't have the passing attack, I feel like, to match Indiana. I know that's crazy to say. But, yeah, I could see Indiana winning this game. Do I think they will? No. I think they'll be out-athleted. So I'll go with Notre Dame, but I wouldn't be shocked at all if Indiana won this game.
What I think is really ironic is you have the number 2 and number 3 scoring offenses in college football. Indiana 43.3 a game, Notre Dame 39.8 a game. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. Both teams have really good defenses. Indiana, the number 1 rush defense in all of college football. I think in the cold weather, they're going to try to address things on the ground. This could change with turnovers, mistakes, but I look for the under. If I was to play the game, I'd play the under. I'm with you. I like Notre Dame. I think they'll get it done tonight at home. Game 1 tomorrow, Happy Valley, Penn State, SMU. I'll go first. I like both these teams. This is one of these games where I'm just going to kind of kick back and hopefully watch 60 minutes of good football. I keep looking at James Franklin. Can't knock off a top 5 team. Can't knock off Ohio State. Can't knock off Michigan when they're in the top 5. Can't knock off a bowl opponent when they're in the top 5. Here's the deal. SMU's not in the top 5. SMU's in the top 10. I still think Penn State, Drew Aller, those two great backs. I love Nicholas Singleton and Katron Allen. I think Penn State gets the victory.
I disagree. To me, this is the surprise of the tournament. This would be one of the biggest upsets of the season. I'm going to go with SMU. I know it's going to be really cold there, but it is at noon. SMU's speed all over is intense, and I think it's going to be too much. I know both these teams played really well in losses in their championship games, but I think SMU's just going to be too fast for Penn State. It's crazy to think that. I believe that's going to happen. I don't think they'll go very far after that. I don't even know who they play the next game, but I'm taking SMU with a massive upset in Happy Valley. I imagine if that happens.
That would be enormous, and they would get Boise State. That is next up for the winner of SMU Penn State. The first game we did talk about, we know, gets Georgia, the winner of Indiana Notre Dame. Rhett Lashley, one of the brilliant young signal callers, coaches in all of college football, and the one-time backup at Arkansas to Jaguars legend Matt Jones.
Oh, my, I did not know that.
You may not have known that. Hey, take that with you, people. Use it as a bar bet tonight, all right?
Talk about it during
Win yourself
Christmas.
As an ice-cold Miller Lite. Clemson in Texas. I just gave you my opinion. This game Clemson has to play near perfect football. The only thing I'm concerned about here, JJ, is there a little bit of a distraction going on with the Longhorns?
Maybe, but if there is, they could just put Arch in. And Arch, to me, is just as good. I take Texas here, not because of the quarterback play, though.
Mm-hmm.
Their defense is phenomenal, and I think their defense is going to be able to shut Clemson down. I really don't like the Maffa run game, and they've been having to rely on like huge plays by Klubnik, and I do like the freshman wide receiver from Clemson. I can't think of his name, but I think Texas wins. I don't know if they'll cover the 12, but I think they win pretty easily.
And we'll wrap it up with the Buckeyes. I just think too much. Speaking of freshman wide receivers, Jeremiah Smith, maybe the best in the land, and Tennessee's high-powered with Nico and with Dylan Sampson running the football. I just think going into that place at night, Tim Brando made an excellent point last night when he was with us. If they're down, if they're trailing, those fans turn. Those were his words, not mine, okay? But if that's not the case, I think it's just going to be too much for Ohio State. We have seen them all season long have some great goal line stands. Even in that loss to Michigan, they still played very well defensively. Can they get the football to their skill position guys? I hate to do it. I hate to be a coward, but I'm playing chalk in all four of these college football playoff games.
I'm actually taking the underdog in this one, too. So I'm going 2-2, underdogs and favorites. I like Tennessee to straight up win, man. I don't like Ohio State's offense. They try to, like, out-tough you, but that's not their thing. I don't know why they try to be that so bad. They can't do that against Tennessee. Tennessee's tougher and bigger and more physical than them. I like the Vols on the road.
There you go. Tennessee and Ohio State. The winner gets number 1 Oregon. That Clemson-Texas game, the winner gets Arizona State. I will not play chalk with the Jaguars and the Raiders. Give me the Jacksonville Jaguars, a road underdog to winning Las Vegas.
Even with Aiden O'Connell playing?
Yes.
Yeah, I agree with you. I thought it was crazy whoever the quarterback would be for the Raiders, that the Jags were ever underdogs in this game. I just think that the Vegas they're looking for the number 1 pick right now. I just saw today Shador Stevenson said his preferred destination would be the Vegas Raiders. And I think they're going to continue to lose. I'm going with the Jags.
Yeah, I read an article today that said that he's going to have to interview well. If not, Cam Ward's going to be the number 1 guy selected, and Sanders will be second. Of course, we're going to get all those type of stories. We're only 125 days away from the draft, and we'll have that for you as well. Hey, folks, have a safe weekend. Really, enjoy yourself with family and friends. If you're drinking cocktails, I'm all for it. But as always, make sure you have a designated driver. JJ, you have a great weekend.
You too.
JJ and I will join you with Hayes Carline Monday from 4 to 6. Again, that'll be the deal Monday, Tuesday, and Friday of next week. So Ballou and JJ in 4 to 6 along with Hayes Carline. For JJ, I am Rick Ballou. Have a fantastic weekend.